Hi there and welcome to this tutorial. Today we will do a plugin that will move the payment gateways in WooCommerce to another section of the checkout page. So let's start. First thing is to create a folder for our plugin. I call it the VC Move Payments, but you can call it whatever you like. And I added a plugin name to the PHP file. And also what I did here is I have activated it. Okay, so let's start. First thing is to check where this check payments, what is PayPal and stuff like this exists. So if we go with the developer tools, you can check here and you can search for, let's say, payment. Then we can go to WooCommerce and let's find that, where that is, something like this. Okay, we have a few and we can see it at this first file that I have selected, the payment PHP, which resides in templates, checkout, payment. And we can see that here is the order button also. So we actually, if we want to move only this but leave, for example, the place order button, we need to change this template, right? So how can we do that actually? Let's search for it. So we know that the payment PHP is shown here, so it must be included in some way. So let's search in the WooCommerce. Let's search for the checkout payment PHP. Okay, so we have actually found one, and that's the WooCommerce checkout payment function. So actually, if we create another function and load it before the WooCommerce is loaded, our function will be used, but we won't do that. We'll actually just use the VC get template to see how we can filter it. So let's go and find how this function is defined. Okay, so here is the definition of this function, and we can see that there is a filter here which we can use, right? And the template name which we pass in, that's the checkout payment PHP. We can actually use that to see if we should replace the template or not. So let's now go back to our plugin here, and what we will do here is filter out the template and replace this payment PHP with another one, but it won't have this section. So let's go and do that. First things first, right? So on the VC Move Payments, just create a folder and let's call it templates, right? And then and we'll now mimic this part. So create the checkout folder and then create a PHP file which we will call payment. Okay, so that's there. Now copy the whole thing here from the default one, go to our new one here and paste it. Okay, let's now remove this part because we don't need that and save the file. And now in the main file of our plugin, let's define our, let's say, VC Move Payments file. So in this example, I won't actually need that, but I want to show you that if in case you want to add this filter, which we will do now, In another place you can still use the same constant and you'll be fine. So let's create another one, which is path, and this will use the plugin, the path function, so it will always point to this to the main folder, so you can then add the slashes and move to other folders using this constant. You can also use the URL, the plugin there URLs, so let's say this one, but that's only if you're going to add your own assets to the front or the admin. So you can always use this, and then when you want to add a style, you can do something like assets, admin, CSS and stuff like that, right? So that will always point to that file. Okay, so now let's get back to this part. So okay, let me just move my, can I move it? Yes, I can. Okay, let me just move it so you can see everything. So what I'm using here is this VC core functions. I'm here and I'm gonna use this template. So what I want here, I don't need this and this and this. We don't need that part. I need the template name and the template. That's all that I need. So let's get going. Use this filter and then go to the, where is it? So here is the main file, and let's do it. Add filter, and then we will say move payments template, and add the, we want to accept sorry about that. So we want to accept the two parameters. So let's create the function. The first one is the template and the second one is the template name. And we can just add a simple comment here. So filtering the payment template, right? So this is a string for the template, and this is also string, which is the template name. So we can now say if checkout payment PHP is not the template name, then we can just return the template that we have received here. But if it is, then return the, I'll use this one, the path, and then we can use the templates and then pass actually the template name, because we have the same structure here if you look at it. So we have templates and then checkout payment, which is the same as here. So you can actually use this for more things, right? Okay, so let's move on and see if something has happened here. Let's hope there are no errors, right? Okay, let's refresh now the checkout and let's see what we have here. Whoop. So as you can see here, we don't have any payment gateways showing up here. So what I want now, I want to show the payment gateways here, right? So in this section. Okay, so how can we do that? First, let's check the checkout form, and the second column is the WooCommerce Checkout shipping. So we can use that, and let's, in our main file, let's add the add action, and then we see move payments display. Let's call it like that. Okay, then use the function that, and we'll just say displaying the payments. Great, like that. Okay, now let's go to the default payment part, right? So we have this one. This is the one we have removed. So let's put it back here like that. We can actually remove the PHP here tag, and we can remove it here like that. Okay, but something else is missing. So when doing that template, the WooCommerce passes the available gateways, and we don't have that here. So this is a variable that it's not defined here. So how can we have access to that variable? Well, we will just go to the this one, yeah. So where we show the checkout payment, and I'll copy this function here, and then we'll go here and here. Of course, you can see now that we use this and this. Both of that is here. So we could actually just do a simple check without this part, right, and put all this inside of here. But I'll leave it like that, okay? And you can then optimize it as you want. So that's it here, and let's see if we will get the payment gateways now. Okay, we have them, but I want them to be below the shipping address and not above. So we will add, let's say, 20 priority. So I think that will do it. Yep. Okay, so what else? We can actually have a div element which will say, let's say, checkout payments, like that. And then we can also add a class VC move payments, I know, whatever you want, and you can use that to style it as you want, right? You can do whatever you want here like that. And we will say, let's add a title payment, and let's call it like that. Okay, so you can actually have it a string that is translatable by other plugins. So now when I refresh it, it should, yeah, payment is here, and now we can move it how we want it. And now we have another problem. So everything is fine now, right? But what if I decide to change my country? The order review is it's refreshing, right? And then I have an issue here, because if I move to another country and a payment gateway that we have rendered here is not available for that country, it shouldn't be here. So how can we actually move this and replace it based on the order review? So that's it seems like a hard thing, but it's really not. So what WooCommerce does, WooCommerce has we can check it out so I don't say something wrong. So when I change the country or something else, the WooCommerce has an update order review action, right? So we can hook on that, and then what it does, it also has a fragment that is a result of the action, and fragments are actually the classes which will be replaced, as you can see here, with other, like that, with all the HTML. So they get the WooCommerce checkout payment, and this is actually the one, and it will replace everything here. So we can find that, where can we find it? It's probably here somewhere. Yeah, so this part, because usually it contains the payment gateways, it will get replaced, right? So what we can do here is actually add a new fragment that will replace this as well. So how can we do that? Well, let's say that we don't actually know anything here. So let's go and check the update order review. So let's go to the finding path, update order review. Let's search it. So there are a lot of things here, but okay, we can actually see now something is going on here. So we have the update order review. This is update order review expired. Okay, that's something, but we have update order review here, so we can see that everything is going to be set again. So we can calculate the shipping, the totals and everything, and put that there. So in here we have the update order review fragments like that. So we can actually filter it out. And how can we do that? Well, let's add it here. So add filter. Okay, and then let's say VC move payments fragments. Okay, payments like that. Let's create a function. We receive the fragments here, and those are an array of the classes that will be replaced. So we always need to return those fragments, right? Let's also add a comment, adding our payment gateways to the fragment, and that's an array. So we can use our ID here, and we can say fragments and then add our ID, like if you would use the jQuery, you add those selectors here. So with an ID we add this hash, and then we need to have something here. For now there is nothing. So if I have nothing here, what will happen? If I change a country, it was removed, right? So everything has gone here and we removed it, and that's fine. Now we know that this actually works. So how can we do that? Well, we'll start the buffer the same way that, let me show you, the WooCommerce does. It starts the buffer, it renders the order review, and then all that was rendered in the buffer, let's say in the memory, will be put as a string to this variable. It will return here. So it won't be outputted, but it will return as a string. So we can do that as well here. Start it, then we will display what we already displaying, and let's say payment ob get clean, and then payments. Okay, and now let's try to change the country once more. So the order is going up, and now it doesn't do anything. Why? Because when we previously did, we removed everything here. So WooCommerce does not append, it replaces completely, so nothing is here. So we need to refresh this. We'll refresh it. Okay, the payment is here, and let's just do a simple check. Let's say that here we will say checking. So now if we refresh it, it should be the checking, it should also be here. So let's say the Costa Rica. So everything is loading. Oh, checking. It's here, so we can now remove it. We can now move the country or something else, but that will trigger the order view, and it has been refreshed. So how fun is that, right? So now you can actually see how to move the payments here, or you can actually move it anywhere in the checkout screen. So that was all for this tutorial. I hope you liked it, and I hope you have learned something new. So bye.